time on stage. Let's give him a round of applause. Props to him. So while we're going with these short jokes, I have a little bit of a fact versus myth kind of thing for you. So, fact, you can get chlamydia if you get scratched by a koala. Myth, your wife will believe you. That's an original Kasha Patel joke. Trademark. You're not allowed to use that one. Alright, our next performer, she is a writer for the Washington Post-Express, and with very minimal public speaking experience. She once cried during a debate about animal rights, and her meltdown was broadcast on closed-circuit television to the entire junior high school. That's so wonderful. You guys are awing right before I bring her up here. All right, guys, let's welcome Sadie Dingfelder.
Hello. So, how many of us here are scientists? Yeah. How many of us are science writers? I have learned tonight that science writers are major hams, and I'm not an exception. But, so, you know, our job as science writers is to take, you know, scientists' years of careful research, you know, decades of like very methodically thought out studies, and sort of summarize them in such a way that they sound stupid or obvious. So earlier we heard about, you know, someone who was saving the Chesapeake Bay by looking at how oysters metabolize some sort of protozoan infection. And of course, as we all know, that means that that's a team of oyster anal probers. And and so, you know, I was recently talking to a woman who she sort of studies how chronic stress cascades through your HPA axis and causes all of these sort of interacting, complicated events that culminate in setting up your immune system to have a hyperactive response to harmless environmental triggers. And so I was like, so bad marriages cause seasonal allergies? And she was like, no, not cause. And I'm like, we'll go with our link to. So I used to work at a graduate student magazine, and what I learned from that experience is that you should avoid going to graduate school at all costs, and don't let your loved ones go to graduate school either, because, you know, I sort of, if someone comes to me and says they want to go to graduate school for science, I treat it in the same way that I would if someone came to me and said they wanted to move to Hollywood and become a movie star. You know, the odds are not in your favor. You know, you're going to get out there, and you're going to be isolated from your friends and family. You're going to be stressed out and vulnerable to joining a cult like Scientology or student government. You'll like fight tooth and nail for menial jobs that are often unpaid and sometimes even degrading. And you know, at the end of the day, your family's going to track you down. They're going to find you empty-eyed, a shell of your formal self, working at some diner in Reno, or even worse, as a what are they called? Adjunct professors? Adjunct faculty. It's rough. Anyway, no, but I'm really, really glad that you guys do what you do, that scientists do what they do, and that you guys work so hard on your cool research so that I can write about it. And I recently wrote a story about coyote-wolf hybrids, which they're in like Quantico, and they might be here in DC too. We definitely have coyotes here. They might be wolf hybrids too. Anyway, so I wanted to share my song that I wrote with you guys about the story I wrote. And this is an audience participation song, so if you hear me howling like a wolf or a coy wolf, please join in. All right. lonely wolf up. Oh wait, no, sorry. Once there was a lonely wolf up in Canada. He hadn't seen another wolf in years. My territory, it's fragmented. Wait, what is that sound? He saw a smallish gal with pointy ears. But she wasn't a wolf at all. She was a coyote. She said, hey, let's party. Woo! Yip, yip, yip. Woo! Yip, 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 yip. And that's how and that's where coy wolves come from. They're big enough to hunt deer, small enough to eat rats. They live in cities and suburbs. It's curtains for your cats. Coy wolves, coy wolves, coy wolves, they're real. Coy wolves, they're looking for a meal. Woo! Thank you.
Guys, I really like having musical acts up here. I think it's so great. Actually, there was a scientific study, true story, about these scientists who figured out that you can use sound waves to levitate objects. Did you guys hear about this? Well, it was a while ago. But no, Grateful Dead fans, though, were not impressed because they saw this happening like years ago at Bonnaroo. All right, our next